Let's get started with our first news because this one really had fans talking. Tom Aspinall has finally addressed all the swirling rumors about a potential super fight with Alex Pereira. The buzz picked up last week after Hale Sonnen claimed a UFC matchmaker told him this fight would be next. Fans quickly speculated about Pereira moving up to heavyweight to challenge Aspinall, but Tom decided to pump the brakes in a recent interview. He made it clear Pereira has more important things to focus on, specifically reclaiming his light heavyweight title in a rematch with Magomed Ankalaev. Tom emphasized Alex should get his belt back before even thinking about heavyweight. Interestingly, Pereira himself had already said the same in an earlier interview. His main goal is to defeat Ankalaev, ideally in October, and reclaim the 205-pound strap. Only after that, he said, would he even consider chasing champ status and facing Aspinall? So while the rumors were loud and exciting, both fighters are actually on the same page. They want to handle unfinished business first before dreaming of one of the biggest double champ fights the UFC could ever book. Let's be real here. The UFC is starving for huge matchups like this. Jon Jones is inactive, Conor McGregor has no clear return date, and there isn't really a can't-miss mega fight on the calendar. A Pereira versus Aspinall showdown would be exactly the kind of blockbuster pay-per-view the company desperately needs. If both men take care of business in their divisions, that fight could absolutely save a pay-per-view event and light up the end of the year in spectacular fashion. Tom also commented on how people misread his body language around Pereira. He said he's seen pictures of himself staring at Alex at events, and people assume he's trying to intimidate him. But in reality, he just really enjoys studying people's psychology before a fight. It's not about being scary, it's about learning and preparing at the highest level. But Tom was clear, Alex has serious business to handle at light heavyweight first. He just lost his title in a tough fight, and Ankalaev remains a dangerous matchup. Tom even gave Ankalaev credit, saying he doesn't get enough respect for running through the division and beating a long-standing champion. Tom didn't sugarcoat how tough the rematch will be for Alex. He admitted it's a fight Alex can win. He's powerful and explosive, but it's no easy task. So to wrap it up, both Tom Aspinall and Alex Pereira have shut down immediate talk of this super fight. They're focused on unfinished business first, but if Alex wins his belt back, that heavyweight showdown will be too big to ignore. Moving on to our second news story, because this one has stirred up plenty of drama as well. Jon Jones has fired back at Dana White. Earlier this month, UFC CEO Dana White went public saying that a heavyweight title unification fight had actually been agreed upon in principle, but that Jon Jones had a change of heart. It was a statement that got fans buzzing, and some even accusing Jones of ducking the fight or holding up the division. Well, Jon didn't stay quiet about it for long. On Friday, he surprised everyone by doing an unplanned Q&A session with fans on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. In classic Jones style, he was very candid about where his head has been lately. He explained that he had originally planned to retire after defeating Stipe Miocic at UFC 309 last November. That was the plan. Beat Miocic, cement his status as the GOAT, then walk away on top. But things didn't quite go that smoothly. Jones said he actually held off on making his retirement official for 7 months. Why? Because everyone around him was urging him to reconsider. Coaches, friends, family, the UFC, they were all telling him to give it more time, to think it through, and not make a rash decision. Here's what he wrote to fans. If the fight was done, trust me, I would be fighting. Did we start negotiating at one point? Yes, but it was never done. My job at the time was to sit back and be quiet about it, and that's exactly what I did. I was enjoying my life. That should have been obvious to you guys. I was told 1,000 times to just reconsider and give it more time. That's the truth. It was classic Jon Jones, blunt, defensive, but also offering a peek behind the curtain. He's making it clear he never backed out of a signed deal. He's saying there was no final agreement, that the negotiation was real at one point but never finished, and that he did what he was told, just kept quiet and let things play out. It's yet another chapter in the ongoing soap opera that is Jon Jones's heavyweight run. Fans have been desperate to see him back in action, especially with Tom Aspinall holding the interim title. There's a clear unification fight that would be gigantic for the division, but for now, that fight remains in limbo, with both sides offering their own version of the story. Only time will tell if they can get it done. If they do, it would arguably be the biggest heavyweight title fight the UFC has ever put together. Two champions, two completely different styles. Jon Jones, the GOAT, looking to prove he's still at the top. Tom Aspinall, the young hungry lion who's been wrecking everyone in his path. That's the fight fans want to see, but for now, we'll have to wait and see if it actually becomes a reality. Now let's talk about tonight, because it was an absolutely historic night for the UFC. The Ultimate Fighting Championship delivered UFC 317 live on ESPN Plus pay-per-view from inside the iconic T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Fans all over the world were on the edge of their seats for the main event, Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira for the recently vacated UFC lightweight title. This belt had belonged to Islam Makhachev until recently, and Charles Oliveira was no stranger to it himself, having previously held the title and proven himself as one of the most dangerous submission artists in the sport. But standing in his way was the undefeated Ilia Topuria, determined to etch his name in the history books. Tonight wasn't just about winning gold, it was about chasing the dream of becoming only the second man ever to hold both the UFC featherweight and lightweight titles. This was a fight with everything on the line. The stakes were enormous. Topuria came in with a lot of hype, but some questioned whether he could really handle the size and experience of a former lightweight champion like Oliveira. Would he fold under the bright lights? Would the jump in weight prove too much? All those questions were answered in devastating fashion. And wow, did Topuria deliver. Official result, Ilia Topuria defeated Charles Oliveira by knockout. A brutal left hook in round 1 at just 2 minutes and 27 seconds. It wasn't even close. He put Oliveira to sleep with a clean, powerful 2-hook combo that left absolutely no doubt about who the better fighter was tonight. The precision, the speed, the composure. It was everything you want to see in a championship performance. With this win, Ilia Topuria proves himself as a true force in the lightweight division. He remains undefeated, silencing anyone who thought he was too small to hang with the 155-pound elites. After this performance, no one can call him undersized for lightweight. He's now a world champion who just knocked out one of the most dangerous, most experienced, and most respected fighters in UFC history. This fight wasn't just about a belt, it was about sending a message to the entire division. Ilia Topuria is here to stay, and he's coming for everyone. Tonight he didn't just win, he made a statement. He proved he belongs at the very top of this sport, and showed he's willing to face anyone, anywhere. Congratulations to the new UFC lightweight champion, Ilia Topuria. A flawless, emphatic performance that fans will be talking about for a long time. But we're not done yet, because there's another twist to Topuria's story that makes it even more intriguing. Ilia Topuria isn't just chasing gold, he's already visualizing blockbuster fights beyond UFC 317. Even as he was preparing to face Oliveira for the title, the Georgian made it clear he has his eyes firmly set on his longtime rival Paddy Pimblett. The beef between them runs deep. This isn't some manufactured rivalry for clicks or hype. There's real history, real animosity, and a genuine desire from both men to settle things once and for all inside the octagon. Topuria has been vocal about it, saying that if he gets past Oliveira, which he did in spectacular fashion, he wants Paddy next, with the belt on the line. In a recent interview, Topuria even laid out his dream scenario. He said he wants to see Paddy Pimblett smoke Justin Gaethje next, skyrocket his stock, and then come challenge for the title. It might sound far-fetched to some people, but make no mistake, Ilia is dead serious. He knows exactly what this fight would mean. He understands the bad blood between them. He knows the clash of personalities would sell the fight on its own, and he knows the massive fan bases involved would make it one of the biggest lightweight title fights the UFC could put together. Here's what Ilia said about it. Paddy versus Justin Gaethje. I think Paddy is gonna beat him easily because of the style. It's not like I don't like Justin. I'm actually a huge fan of all of his fights. I enjoy a lot watching him fight. He takes a lot of punches and throws a lot of punches. I love to watch him fight, but I think that Paddy could get that win easily because of the style. So what do you think, fight fans? Do you agree with El Matador? Is Paddy versus Topuria the next big rivalry that could carry the UFC lightweight division into its next era? Is this the fight that could headline a massive pay-per-view and keep the division exciting for years to come? Leave your thoughts and let us know what you think about all the crazy developments in MMA.